from Kingsburg, California. That's right. At the heart of their group is James and his wife, Katie Joy. Their debut album, Lovely Deceit, available on all digital and streaming platforms, and they are currently working on their sophomore album, waiting with the release sometime next year. You can find them on their YouTube channel every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific for a live stream worship event consisting of music, stories, and more. James and Katie have a strong desire and call to speak life into the hearts of those that suffer from hopelessness and in need of recovery. They believe that we are all in recovery from something, whether of a substance abuse, being a victim of any kind of abuse, or just the scars that living life can leave on a person. Every hurt can be healed through Jesus Christ. With their raw and real stories and through their music, they want to share that hope with you. Please welcome from California, Changing Names, joining the program. Hello, you guys. Great to see you again. It's been a while.
Great to see you too.
Welcome to Red's Room.
Yeah, thanks for having us back. Real quick, though, I want to say we're actually going to be taking a break from our weekly live stream. So we have one more this coming Thursday at 8:30 Pacific, and that'll be our last for a while. So if you guys want to join us this Thursday on our YouTube channel, that would be great. But after that, we're going to be taking a break. So,
yeah.
Okay, well, summer break it is. One more to go. So
there's a lot going on. And,
so.
Yeah.
We love doing them, and we definitely want to come back at some point, and it's our desire to follow the calling in our lives and do our music, but we just really felt after some prayer and stuff that we needed to take a little break to get just a bunch of stuff in order that maybe we'll share a little bit tonight as we go, but that's kind of where we're at. So
yeah,
it's great to be here though. And it looks like we're breaking the rules already because we're West Coast on the East Coast broadcast, right?
I mean, it doesn't mean we can't deviate from the rule. It's more of loose rules. You see,
guidelines.
Guidelines.
Point. When we do our UK takeovers once a quarter, it started out as UK, but we occasionally sneak in a South Africa or a country outside the UK. So we just bend the rules. We just call it an other country takeover. Just so it's loose rules. I mean, it's subject to interpretation. It's all good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I can tell it's because our church is now meeting on Friday nights, so that's why I read it was. Now I'm understanding why Friday nights would work better because of West Coast. So thank you for accommodating us, though, working us in, sneaking us in to the East Coast.
Oh, it's all good. I think we just generally say that because it's Friday night, of course, it's prime time for when we air it for artists in the West Coast, whereas it would be a little bit on the late side sometimes for artists on the East Coast to join us. And at a certain time on the Fridays, it's midday on Saturday for the Aussies to join us, so it ends up working out well. Saturday, the concert is a little bit earlier at 7 Eastern time, so it's more at a decent enough time for the Eastern folks to join us and not be too terrible into the night. So that's kind of loosely how it's set up. But we will never turn down an appearance from Changing Names. That's for darn sure.
Kind. Thank you.
Oh, and Trinidad on Saturday. That's right. We fit Trinidad and Tobago. Saturday is usually the day we do that if we're going to do that trip. Yeah. So.
Very cool.
But you guys got a 4-song set for us tonight. Let's get into song number 1, shall we? What do we have to share tonight?
We do. So this first song is a cover by Casey Musgraves, who's a country artist, and it's called The Architect. And James heard it a couple of weeks ago, and it just resonated with him and touched him in a place where he wanted it to be one of the covers that we do, because it is such a beautiful introduction to who God is as our creator.
And if and as people are searching more, especially as it gets darker out there, as you see the world getting darker, Christ's light shines the brighter, and people are asking questions like, is there something behind this, or is this all there is? And that's kind of what this song asks. Yeah.
So, here we go.
Looking forward to hearing a little Casey Musgraves, The Architect, done by Changing Names right here on the Saturday edition of Red's Room.
something as small as an apple. It's simple and somehow complex, sweet and divine, the perfect design. Can I speak to the architect? There's a canyon that cuts through the desert. Did it get there because of the flood? Was it devised, or were you surprised when you saw how grand it was? Was it thought out at all, or just paint on a wall? Is there anything that you regret? I don't understand, are there blueprints or plans? Can I speak to the architect? Sometimes I look in the mirror, wish I could make a request, but I pray it away. Am I shapeable clay, or is this as good as it gets? One day you're on top of the mountain, so high that you'll never come down. When the wind at your back carries ember and ash, and it burns your whole house to the ground. Thought that I was too broken, or maybe too hard to love. I was in a weird place, then I saw the right face, and the stars and the planets lined up. Does it happen by chance? Is it all happenstance? I don't have any say in this mess. Is it too late to make some more space? Can I speak to the architect?
A cover of Casey Musgrave's song, The Architect, wonderfully done by changing names right here on Red's Room. In addition to Casey, who you covered marvelously a second ago, who are some other artists that you either love to cover or that inspire you?
Gosh, that's an excellent question with 20 or 30 minutes of answer. I will say the next song we're going to do is a cover of Need to Breathe, who is
We
another.
like them a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's another band who
Ooh,
is not only
yeah.
inspiring lyrically and also just their sound, but there's just so many songs of theirs that we love. And there's several that are in our arsenal of covers.
They have a great live show, too.
We cover we cover
We like
Christian
Plum a lot, too.
artists and secular artists. It kind of just depends on the message of the song.
Okay.
And
I
especially
dig that. I dig
if
that.
there's a way we can mash it up with one of ours, that's always fun too, because the covers.
We're always thinking of the theme, you
Yeah.
know, whether it's secular or
Yeah.
Christian. Like, how
Yeah.
can we pull this theme out that the artist was thinking of
Yeah.
to, you know, bring it into the message of the night or
Like we
something
mash
we
up,
love, you know.
we mash up a Need to Breathe song with one of ours. We mash up a Sia song with one of ours, Bulletproof. We
Yeah.
mash up Cyndi Lauper is another one that we mash up with one of our songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
fun to
we
mash up, you know?
There's plenty of secular songs out there that
totally,
are capable of encouraging people and inspiring
Absolutely.
people. I think
absolutely.
it goes back to one of those where God can use anything, including any forms of music, to touch our hearts and accomplish the mission. So I like the fact that you guys are so versatile in that. I have a feeling I'm gonna love the Need to Breathe cover coming up. They have a great live show too. And
yeah.
I saw, was it Bear, the lead singer? I believe he has short hair now, but back when he first started out, he had nice long hair. He did.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing them for the first time, I think back in 2000. Yikes, they've been at it for a while now. 2009 is when I first saw them.
Yeah.
So like 15 years
I
ago
think
already.
you saw him at the beginning.
And then-
You saw him back then.
I think I did. Yeah, I think they had just come out with their debut single, which was "Washed by the Water." I think.
I think that was their
I think they had
first
just
single.
come out with that one at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were a great live show then, and they still are to this day. Good stuff there, and he does some great stuff as well. I think his solo side project is Wilder Woods, and
Yeah, I
That's
actually
great with that.
really like that album a lot. And do you know why
Yeah.
he called himself Wilder Woods?
what's that?
Those are the names of his kids.
That's right. That's right. I
Which
did
I
remember hearing
loved
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. So I guess we'll just get
Well,
started.
which Need to Breathe song are you going to be covering for us in your arsenal right
Walking on Water, which
now? All right.
is a close one to my heart because I think about that story of
Yeah.
Peter being called out, right? And there's so many different ways that you can look at the story in the Gospels of when there's a crazy storm going on and the disciples are in the boat and Jesus said, "Hey, I'll just catch up with you guys later." And they got in the boat and then the storm happens. And so in my mind, the storm actually took them farther away from shore than they meant to be because I think they were waiting for him. So then they look and he's coming towards them and he's walking on the water. And there's so many ways we can identify with every single disciple in this picture because you have the disciples who are in the boat watching it all unfold and not stepping out in faith. And then you have Peter who doesn't just have a desire to walk out. He asks Christ, "Can call me out? Will you call me out onto the water with you?" And so Jesus does, and he says, "Come out, like come meet me." And so Peter gets out of the boat and he steps out in faith and he starts going, but the storm is big and scary and he gets distracted. He takes his eyes off of Christ and he looks at the storm around him and then he begins to sink and he cries out and Jesus reaches out and he's like, "You have little faith. Like, why did you doubt?" And pulls him back up and pulls him to safety. And it's just one of my favorite stories of Christ with his friends. And yeah, this is Walking on Water.
Changing names right here on Retro.
The wind is strong, the water's deep. My heart is heavy and my mind won't sleep. Oh, can you heal my fear? It breathes. I need to know if you're the shadow I can see. I wanna run to you when the waves break through. I wanna run to you, not turn back. There's no turning back, nothing in the past. Eyes are on you again. Can't see nothing at all but your outstretched arms. Help me believe it. Though I falter, you got me walking on water. The ocean singing the song of grace. But if I'm honest with myself, I'm still afraid. I wanna run to you when the
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. The pop-ups are only like I mean, go to hit the button and the pop-up goes up. I'm like, no.
We are very familiar with technical difficulties.
Oh, yes.
No judgment.
We have so many stories of our live streams going
Well,
awry.
on the mobile, what happens is you try to like tap it and it's annoying because the status bar on the bottom goes away, and so you have to tap it at just the right spot to make the bottom bar appear again,
Oh,
so you
yeah.
can unmute yourself. And oftentimes, as I'm going to do that, I hear the host wants you to unmute. I'm like, I know, I'm trying to. So I have to disappear that dialogue box before I can even like. It's a whole, yeah.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. It's changing names right here on the Saturday edition of Red's Room. You mentioned that you'll be taking a little bit of a hiatus from the weekly YouTube stuff. But how else might you be filling that time this summer? Is it a time of recharge? Is it a time of just focusing on other projects and other things? What musically and otherwise coming up can a lot of your fans and viewers and subscribers look forward to here in the coming months from you guys?
Well, we're going to keep, for one thing we're going to keep going is our Patreon. We're going to be checking in with that, putting in some posts there about the creation of our album. So if you want to be part of our Patreon community, we'll have some links and stuff for you. Or Katie likes to say it, actually. Do you want to say it?
I forget how to spell it every time, and I have to think it through. So our Patreon is patreon.com, which is patreon.com/changing names.
And we're taking people through like the process of our album. So that's one thing we're going to do. Like this next week, we're going to show the next song we're working on. So it's kind of the behind the scenes. That's definitely one thing. You want to tell them about something else you got coming up?
Yeah. So to answer your first question, though, the reason for our break is honestly we're just in this really hard season of feeling. It's not just a feeling; it's the facts that everything is toil with no fruit, and we know that the Lord has us in this place intentionally for a season. There's something He's teaching us through it, but it's exceedingly difficult. And so our hearts are not to stop what we're doing because it's our calling and it's our passion and it's our love, but in the process of just trying to survive the season and trying to make ends meet, we frankly just don't have the time to put in, because our desire is always to bring excellence to the things that the Lord has called us to. And when we don't have time to prepare properly and we're not bringing excellence, it feels like we're not giving the Lord what He deserves.
Do you feel like you're kind of a little bit of going through the motions a little bit with it?
I think that can absolutely be a part of it, for sure, where you're doing it not out of love in that moment. You're doing it more out of obligation than like passion.
Yeah, I was going to say obligation or just ritual or...
Yeah, it's like just checking a box, and that is never what we want our music and our ministry to be. And so it's not that we're going to stop. It's just that we're not going to be doing the lives every week anymore.
We're just focusing on things that can help our financial house get in order, and then so that we can do this with the passion it deserves, instead of the leftovers of our ability, because we're so exhausted because things aren't working right now, and we believe it's for a reason, like Katie was saying. You know that things aren't working, but we're seeking the Lord each time through it, and good music usually comes from these seasons. So
we'll see what comes out of it.
And the name of our album is Waiting. So all of the stuff we're singing about, like the song we're going to close with you guys tonight.
Yeah, that's actually a good answer to one of your other questions.
It talks about that. And do you want to talk about it now or after this?
No, we'll talk about it now. So we have we have two more songs. We have two more songs for you guys, and they are both originals. So we started with our covers, and now we're going to finish with originals. One we've actually played for you guys before. It's called Razor's Edge. It's off of our first album. And I will say that it was written in a very difficult season of our marriage. We just hit 22 years in March that we've been married. And I know it makes me feel so old when I say that. So we just hit 22 years, and I'm sure you can imagine that.
And you're not a day above 25. I don't know how that could be.
Yeah, thank you. So, in relationships and in marriage, you know, there's going to be seasons of hard and seasons of good, and that's actually what our next two songs are about. So the first one we're going to share for you is Razor's Edge, which was written during, again, just a really incredibly difficult season when you come to this place where you know that you're going to be intentional, that you made a vow, you made a commitment, and sometimes things are hard and you have to choose. You choose love, you choose to continue, you choose to move past the difficulty. And we're really excited about the last song we have for you guys, which is also kind of a song that we've written. Well, I wrote the words, he wrote the melody, about our relationship and our marriage. It's called Highs and Lows, and it was written I wrote it from his perspective of when we first met and got together. And it speaks to the highs and lows of relationship in a really awesome way. But it's also going to be the first single off of our second album. We're going to be launching it this fall. This is kind of our debut to show it to the world. Our Patreon members have heard it, but no one else has. So we're really excited to do that with you guys tonight. So
it is coming. The new album is coming at some point this fall then.
No, the first single is coming this fall.
The first single from it anyway. You're going to be releasing it kind of in singles as a lead up to then the full album after that?
Yeah, at least several of the songs we will. We haven't really had a game plan if we're going to do that with all of them, but for at least the first few we will, because we want to get some new music out there that we have that's pretty much ready. It just needs to be recorded. This one's actually ready to go. It just needs cover art, and we're going to try to probably launch the video in tandem. So, and this next song, I'm like stumbling over my words. I'm very excited about Highs and Lows. So the next song we have for you, Razor's Edge, already has a music video that we are incredibly proud of.
Oh yeah, we'd love to.
That's on our YouTube channel, and like I said, it's the story of just a difficult season of marriage, and we partnered with, is it Kingdom Works Studios?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
We partnered with Kingdom Works Studios and got some footage, and it kind of tells the story of a marriage in trouble, and we are passionate about that, and we're passionate about God coming in and being able to heal the broken things, and the like acting that's going on in our video is actually played by the people who were at the end, and
their story, and
it's their story that they're acting out, and how God came in and redeemed that. And it's something we're just really excited about. So if you get a chance, head over to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/wearechangingnames and catch our Razor's Edge music video.
And here it is.
Changing Names.
Yeah.
Right here on Red's Room. Song 3, here we go.
See the words behind your meaning through the damaging noise of the persistent beating of my heart. As waves of regret come tumbling down to drown out the sight of memories of you as they tear me apart. I'm falling apart. We twist and turn the razor's edge. Memories, they're whispering just like ghosts. Can't you see? I want you here like we were back when we held each other so close now. I see your silence is swelled up with exaggeration, and reality's riddled with imaginations of the way that so close. And then, well, I believe we'll make our own memories. I'll turn the page, the whisper cease, just like ghosts. Twist and turn the razor's edge, we walk on. Never saw we'll make it through, just hold on. Twist and turn the razor's edge, we walk on. Heaven's song, we'll make it through, just hold on. Just hold on. Just hold on.
Stuff.
That is Razor's Edge right here.
Yes.
The Saturday edition of Red's Room. I love the drums and the track behind that too, and as well as the guitar playing. We ask sometimes the nerdy questions on here as well, because we have several people who like that sort of thing. What sort of guitar are you playing tonight?
Well, this is a Taylor. It's a Koa wood Taylor, and it's I just love the wood.
It's pretty.
Yes, it was very nice. I always wanted to tailor. We had a Martin, and I always wanted to switch over to Taylor, so this was when I switched.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to just tell the story of what happened with
Okay.
our Martin real
Okay.
quick. We have a friend of ours who needed to step in at the last minute and lead worship at our church because some things happened and people were sick, and so he asked, like, I need a guitar. James happened to have his Martin there, and he said, here. And so Vince got up and he was playing, and our church has a lot, like, long worship sets, and he was playing, and he
Cut his
callus
finger.
is open and he's bleeding all over the
He
guitar.
kept going.
And so then he actually asked, hey, can I buy that Martin off of you guys? Because I bled for Christ all over that thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to own it. And we're like, yes, we'll sell it to you. So
Yeah.
that actually opened the door for us, for James to be able to buy his Taylor.
Yeah.
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 Cool reason.
And
Cool
that's,
reason to lose your
That's me
guitar.
playing the drums and some of the instruments on that recording. As
Yeah.
Katie said, she married her backup band.
I
so.
did. I married my backup band. He plays everything and I play nothing. I just show up and
Hey, you're getting better keyboard with your vocal lessons because
I
she has to do
do.
scales and everything for the warm up.
I teach vocals, and so I've had to learn enough keyboard to get by for scales to be able to teach vocals. But I think we're waiting for Joe to reconnect, so I'm just going to
Yeah, we'll just intro highs and lows.
well, we can intro highs and lows, but there was something else I was just about to say.
Oh.
What was it? Oh,
About the
it
Taylor?
was that he's my backup band and I just get to show up. Like, he has all the setup and all the things, and I just get to show up and walk out, and I have my mic, and that's all I need with my backup band, which I love. And our music, I tend to be the lyricist and he tends to be the melody man, but we definitely speak into each other's roles. Razor's Edge was the most collaborative song that we've written together because I wrote the words and the melody for the verses, and James wrote the words and the melody for the choruses and the bridge. And I think I only vetoed like 20 different versions
Yeah.
before we landed on what we got.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 20?
Only 20. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Only 20.
Sorry, my there's some tech difficulties over here.
Yep.
Sorry about that. It kind of crashed
No.
on me for a second
Hey,
there.
we're like Katie said, we're
Um,
familiar with technical
Yes,
difficulties.
That's-
very,
because-
very familiar.
Yeah, jeez, tell me about it. That's not the case though with every song, right? Do some songs come together a little bit more easier than that, or do a lot of them go through
Yeah,
about
I'd say.
20 different versions before?
that was
you
the
land on
most, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely some other ones were easier.
The-
Well,
In fact-
It was because it was such a personal song that it went through so many
Yes.
versions.
mm,
Yes.
Yep.
It was just such a raw season in our marriage and our relationship, and such a struggle. And I think that it's really cool that the actual execution of the song was also a struggle, because what came out of it was something meaningful. And I think that's really what the Lord does always. In this season that we're in right now, we know that when the Lord brings us out, that what we've learned in the process means more than anything.
Yeah.
That it will be meaningful.
We usually like to walk through the whole way.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
I don't want to shortcut
halfway.
out. Yeah.
Same with our songwriting. So that's
Yeah.
why our
And
songs
good
are
evening
so
to
long.
you. Good evening to you, Mr. Michael Smeckle, Higher Power Entertainment himself. Nice to see you. Rock and Ron, good evening to you. Nice to see you, sir,
Rock and roll.
here on the Facebook as well tonight. Now, Red, it's a great segue into our final song here tonight. Red says, I got to hear it in Soundcheck. It's awesome. You do not want to miss their
Thanks.
last song. And so without further ado, here is that debut single from their second album, which will be releasing this fall, Highs and Lows. I know you guys are excited about this one. Check it out right now here on Red Zoom, guys. Take it away.
There you were, there I was, lost for words and speechless. There you were, there I was, heart
guys. That was
It's-
absolutely fantastic. Changing
It's really-
names, highs and lows, right here.
Thank you.
On the Saturday edition of Red's Room, Rock and Ron and Radio Princess. Ooh, me like.
Oh, awesome.
Want it for
We love
my
hearing it.
show. Of course, Red was saying, yeah, you need it for your show, Ron. You need this artist for your show if you don't already. And of course,
Reach out. We'd love to
Yeah.
connect.
Yes, of course, you can hear Rock and Ron's show on our radio network as well, and we have some of their music changing names on our radio network again too. Fantastic stuff there.
Thank you.
Always great to help promote you guys, and I know Red is too.
Thank you.
Great story, great testimony, you guys. So how might we, in addition to the Patreon, which we've mentioned a moment ago, we have Patreon, we have YouTube. What are some of the many ways that we can continue to stay in contact and keep up with what you guys are doing, what you guys got going on, listen to your music, all of these sorts of things? So where can we continue to catch up with you?
Well, I think on the YouTube channel, that is definitely one place. If you haven't seen our lives before, we do have a catalog of when we started about a year ago,
Yeah.
where you can kind of see some of those previously, lives on there, and some of the music videos that we posted are on there.
Yeah.
We got a website too. And
So the easiest way to connect with us on all platforms is our website, which is wearechangingnames.com. And on there, it has links to our Instagram, our Facebook. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Music. You can find us on Pandora. You can find us on Google Play. We're everywhere. And the easiest would be, that's like a central hub. But basically, most of those platforms, like music, you're going to want to search Changing Names. But if you go to any of the platforms like Facebook or Instagram, I can't remember if we have a TikTok or not. We do, actually. You're going to look for We Are Changing Names.
You are?
Yeah, facebook.com/wearechangingnames.
otherwise, a bunch of weird stuff is going to come
You're
out.
going to learn how to legally change your name
Yeah.
otherwise, which is delightful.
We've got a bunch of followers that want us to change their
you
names.
You said we are changing names.
We are changing names. We do. We'll get these random.
I get why that would come up.
Yes, we get these random Facebook messages. It's less now than it used to be, but we'll just get like a random person from another country, and they'll just email us a name that they want us to change their name to. Happens all the
Oh
time.
no!
Maybe we should do it as a side business.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no! Side business.
Little
It's the
side hustle.
changing names licensing service.
Right.
Things you don't think of when you come up with a band name.
You can
I
change
love
your
our band.
name literally through what? Change your name through changing names.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us on tonight. We're always incredibly honored to get to be a part of what you guys are doing. We think it's an awesome ministry.
You guys are great as always. Always great catching up with you and being able to host with you guys again. Let's do it. Let's pray for our guest here tonight.
Thank you.
Lord, we just thank you for changing names. We thank you for their great music, their great ministry. Lord, I just ask that you would just continue to give them many opportunities to be able to share and further your gift and to reach people's hearts through their stories and through their testimonies and the places that they have been in their walk. Lord, I just thank you that you'll continue to provide for them and their family, personally and professionally. Continue to strengthen them. Lord, continue to direct them in all the ways possible. Lord, I just thank you that you will let the release of these singles go out to whoever may hear them, that whoever has ears, let them hear. I pray that they would reach out, whoever these new songs, this new material needs to reach out and to touch all of those hearts. And Lord, I just praise you that this new release will be successful. I pray that you will continue to be with them in their giftings as they continue to put the finishing touches on this labor of love of new material. And I just pray that you will just continue to work through them, continue to shine your light through them and their giftings. And I just thank you for everything you're doing, everything you have done, and everything you're about to do through them, through their ministry. And we thank you for the opportunity to have them here tonight with us, sharing their gifts and their talents brightly right here on Red's Room. We thank you and praise you for everything you're going to do. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. You guys will keep watching. So we're excited about the next artist.
Indeed, a great segue there. Of course, we